Okay, so I'm getting started. I'm going to do what I call a second block in. Um, since it's not an alla prima portrait, sometimes I like building up the surface a little bit. So I'm going to just restate the darks and the middle values first. But I'm still going to be drawing through the whole thing. But I'm not going to do a lot of talking today to you guys. I just want to talk about what I'm doing here. And I'm going to get started. I'm actually still drawing. I'm, I'm, I'm measuring the big shapes. Exactly what I'm doing. sometimes takes a little bit before things start to really work out. So I'll just play with it a little bit, explore. Exactly what I'm doing, just exploring. So the goal is to try to cover the whole painting all over again, with as much thicker paint. Sometimes I use medium, sometimes I don't. It depends. On the upper layers, I definitely use medium because I'm painting fat over lean. So I am thinking of fat over lean on the upper layers. But with this layer, it's just so I can get a feel of what's going on. I don't have it all, the puzzle solved yet. Trying to stick with a bigger brush, just until I figure out what's going on, and just these big shapes need to ring more for me. Need to work for me more. So excuse my lingo there. But if I can get the big shapes to work, I think I'll be okay. I'm thinking of the whole drawing as I'm drawing it. I'm just relating shapes, carving into what I think may be a better drawing. Just so I can work on getting the likeness, getting what I think I see. I think I made in the eye socket a little, in this orbital socket, just a little bit too cool or grayed out yet. I want to feel that area. So I have to go at it and really think about it, and not jump and make it too fast. I want to, some of this stuff I want to, kind of work my way into it a little bit. When I have a value that's on the brush, sometimes I take it and spread it around. If it seems like that value that's on the brush could go somewhere else. I'm not concerned about color at this point. I just want to get another solid layer in and try to figure out form, the structure. Not thinking of lightness, because I'm more concerned about it feeling three-dimensional than I am about the likeness at this point. I wanted to feel like she's coming off the canvas, or she's starting to come off the canvas, out of this chaos. I'll start pulling her forward. But I have to be patient with it, so I'm just trying to be patient, that's all. If you get some glare, sometimes just go across it the other way, and and that'll help. Doesn't always help, but sometimes I like to do it that way. Just go the opposite way of just take your brush strokes the opposite way. Like you're doing a hatch or cross hatching, process, a stroke, excuse me. I am squinting down so I can see the big shapes. Boy, you get so tempted to start putting detail, it's hard not to. It's hard not to, I'm gonna be honest with you. You get to looking at the detail and say, man, I could start. If I were painting live, that's a little bit more. If I had a model for just an hour, I mean just for the 3 hours, I would probably paint a little bit faster. I would probably try not to think about detail, but if it would happen to fall in there, I wouldn't fight it. What I'm doing here, I'm just measuring. Visually. I haven't gotten into wanting to do it, using plumb lines and things yet. What I'm trying to do is train my eye to see. So what you're seeing me do here is just training my eye to see, and I will move things around, just training my eye to see. So big part of how I work, and I'm basically just using what I call some mapping points, and that's to keep the drawing moving along. Uh, so these mapping points help me to check space. Am I do I have too much space on this side, too much space on that side? So you can see where it's sort of coming along a little bit more. If it gets to where the glare is too much, I think I showed you guys about this brush. I should have cleaned it off. I did not, but this is not blending. I'm just knocking down some of the big paint strokes, the strokes or the ridges of the paint, so I can move things along more. It may smear or whatever. I don't worry about that. Okay. By the way, I don't represent Rosemary, but this is, excuse me, I shouldn't have said it like that. At the conference, they sell these rosemary mop brushes, and I thought it would be fantastic for this. It's called a Monday Mop, an inch by Rosemary. Okay, great company, great brushes, by the way. You know, I use a bunch of different brushes and stuff like that, but this is a great. Great to be able to get a little painting in today. Tomorrow is my grandbaby's birthday, so there won't be any painting tomorrow. So it's kind of nice to get in here today and to do just a little something, you know. Um, because like I said, tomorrow will be it's her day, so there won't be any painting going on here. Gotta make time for those grandbabies, right? Which I love doing that, you know. I just have one. If you want to know, just one. I attempt to go um, thick in the light areas and thin in dark areas. You know, sometimes when I'm sort of struggling just a bit, which you know, which we all kind of do at times, I may go. I may go too thick in the dark areas. You know, in the show. This doesn't have a lot of dark on it, but but I am gonna see, you know, what I can, you know, drawing. some of these smaller areas, I do like to use a smaller brush. It depends on the size, you know. For me, the rule of thumb is to go with as big a brush as you can. Sometimes I'll go the opposite and I'll use a smaller brush, and then once I get towards the finish line, I'll look back and say, wow, I have too many small shapes. So I'll go in and then I'll look at it and then I'll make corrections and I'll make the shapes bigger. I'll take out some stuff. So again, it's like it's a reduction thing for me, that seems to work for me. I'm not on the money with everything. It takes a while, so. Just to be honest about it, I don't get it right off. But I will go back and I'll seek those big shapes. So I am looking for the right color value each time. I'm not just randomly putting down colors. I am thinking about what's there and how to best go around, the best way to get it. And by me exploring like this, it just opens up other avenues for me to sort of, okay, I can do this and this and this, I can, so the more I explore, I tend to learn a little bit more about my subjects, about what I'm painting, and, color and value and form and shapes of that person, and so that's what the struggle is at. It's not really, let me not call it a struggle. That's the way that I like to work, to see if I can get things to work better. See how far I can push. I could push the envelope, as they say, I'm gonna knock down some of this glare. I have another brush, same brush. I purchased a couple of them, which I wish I had purchased more of them. Actually, I didn't make it to the conference this year, but I sent my buddy, Mr. Romeo Clay Robinson, I sent him a picture of these brushes, but they didn't have any at the conference. So I didn't get a chance to get a couple more. I want a couple more, and I just use them just for this. Just to knock these big areas down. Just knock down some of the paint for clarity purposes, so I can see things clearly. So as I'm doing these too, I'm still drawing. I'm thinking about the drawing. Those shapes, those big shapes I see. Squinting. I try to remind myself to squint. Drawing, checking these spaces, that I might not have right. Go back and fix them. Or make them work. Let's just say that I need to make them work. move that up a little bit. Think about that space in between there. This has a double lighting on it, which is fine, you know. I mean, it has light on both sides. So the photo reference had it too. So the black and white photo reference. I will put a feeling, or feeling, not a feeling, God. I will put the idea of where I think the pearl necklace will go. So I'm judging that space in there. I'm just moving this paint around. Had a little bit too much on the back end. Let's go back to her hair just a little bit behind here. It's too light. Put any green out. I need to put some green out. Right now, we'll just keep that soft. The ear goes way down. Way down. That's where the ear is at. Way down here. Okay, good. Okay. There. If you're interested in how I paint portraits, if you're local, you could register to sign up with me at the Glassell School of Art in Houston at the Fine Arts Museum. I teach there Saturdays for the fall. This fall, Saturdays from 1 to 4. You know, we have a model. We paint from a model. The class is structured on painting from life, and we you know, as your so I demonstrate every week, and yeah. But in the spring, I will have. I'm teaching a painting and a drawing class. Portraits from life. So I'll have two different classes that I'll start teaching there. Ton of fun. So if you're interested, you could contact me there. I will be there. Working on the whole, as I was trained by my mentor at Galveston College in Galveston, Texas, for many, many years. So if you see me move around a bit, I can't help it. I was trained that way, and it's hard to break old habits, and that works for me. Um, so I'm undecided. I was talking about putting the words in, but I'm undecided about that now. So I was thinking of maybe not putting the words in. So I extended the vignette, and okay. So by the way, if I'm not saying that word right, please feel free in the comments to, or either text me, or actually, if you want to call me and say, Eddie, you're not saying that word right, feel free to do that. I would love to be an art historian, but, or someone that just nails the words, I'm in Texas, so you may hear that's that weird Southern accent just come out. I think that's just a beautiful reference. It was, that I had my buddy to put it in AI, and then because it was a black and white reference, and I will see what I can do with it, but I wanted to try to really do a good job on it, because I think she needs to be represented beautifully. Not saying any other artist, because she's been painted several times, well, many times over the years. But I just want to do it my way, and I kind of allow myself to sort of give it life. I was trying to find a good word for it, but I just want to give her life my way. So at this stage, I do not think of temperature change. I don't think of temperature change at this stage. I just want to get an understanding of the form. So at this stage, I am not thinking of temperature change at all. searching for middle value, but a contrasting color to her skin tone. The skin tone will be warm on this side, so I'm just trying to cool this down as much as I can. But I don't want to make it to where it's too cool, you know. But I'll work on it. This background and get many different colors in it before it's all said and done. Trying to remember the background needs to stay the background. And sometimes that's easy. Sometimes as I'm exploring it tends to go a little bit, I tend to put too much in there. That's what I'm trying to say. Can't do too much to it because I know I have to, as I start to paint, I'm gonna compare. The more I get into it, the more I start to work these shapes too. You know, it'll be a comparison thing. The edges, thinking the edges.